Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Course studio. Welcome to the show. Now, I shouldn't be complaining, but it's getting pretty hard keeping track of when spoiler seasons are and early previews and which set, which cards, I mean, last week we got some early spoilers for the Commander Legends 2 Baldur's Gate, Battle for Baldur's Gate, whatever it's called, set coming up, and Elder Brain. If you haven't seen the episode on that one, make sure you check it out because that is a brutal new card. And the spoiler season for Streets of New Capenna does not start until next week. However, we've got yet another spoiler from that set today with Maestros Charm. So regardless of whether I'm confused as to why spoilers are coming out here or there or now or when, it doesn't matter. This is a very exciting thing. We have brand new powerful charms. And yeah, to see what this one does, let's jump into it to find out. So the Maestros are the Grixis family, and their charm is quite the charm. It's an instant for blue, black, and a red, and it says choose one. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put one of those cards into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life, or Maestros Charm deals 5 damage to a creature or planeswalker. So like all of our previous 3 mana charms, we've got an instant speed 3 mana spell that is one of each of its colors, and it allows you to pick one of 3 options. And these options are pretty great in Commander. The first one is going to be some fantastic card advantage, or maybe I should say more so card selection, letting you pick one card out of the top 5. But it's not like you don't get some use out of the other cards that you're, not choosing. You get to put those into your graveyard, and there are plenty of decks out there that love getting cards into their graveyard. So maybe you've got some other ways to utilize those cards, like reanimating creatures in your graveyard, or maybe you've got spells with flashback that you can use multiple times, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, being able to dig 5 deep at the very least to get the right card for you is a great option. The second option is probably the weakest of these 3, but it can still be very effective in the right scenario. Each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. I mean, that's a total of 9 life drained if you've got 3 opponents still in the game. And yeah, gaining 3 life, I'm not going to complain about doing that. This can definitely help you get your opponent's life totals down if they're already low, or, maybe even take them out in some scenarios if this is kind of the last push over the edge, and at the meantime, you're padding your life total, which, that's nice. The last of these options, though, might very well be the best one. It's definitely in contention with the first option as well, but yeah, dealing 5 damage to our creature or planeswalker, that's basically just planeswalker or creature removal for the vast majority of planeswalkers and creatures out there. Even if you just quickly scroll through the top 100 creatures or so in Commander, there are very few that have 6 or more toughness. So, and it might be even generous to actually say this, but out of the top creatures that you're likely to see in games of Commander, you might only, not be able to use this on 10% of creatures to take them out. The other 90% you can take out with this. And of course, the same goes for being able to take out the vast majority of the most popular commanders out there as well. I mean, just take a look at EDH Rec's page and scroll through those top commanders, and you'll see most of them do not have 6 toughness. And yeah, when it comes to taking out planeswalkers, 5 damage is going to do the trick the vast majority of the time as well. Now, obviously, yes, I should mention that this kind of removal spell is not going to work against, say, creatures that have indestructible. But still, the vast majority of the time, this is going to be a great removal spell, or, a great card advantage spell that can also get cards into your graveyard, or, in some scenarios, if you really want to drain your opponents by 3, go for it. But yeah, again, a 3 mana instant speed flexible spell like this one can be fantastic, especially when it gives you the options for either card advantage or for removal. So I think Maestros Charm has a ton of potential in Commander. Now, obviously, this is not the first charm that we've seen, and in fact, we've seen an entire cycle of 3 color charms with Naya, Sultai, Abzan, Bant, Esper, Temur, Jeskai, Jund, Grixis, and Mardu. And actually I put those in the order of most popular from Naya all the way down to least popular with Mardu. So as you can see with that ordering, the actual original Grixis Charm, which Maestro is also Grixis as well, the actual original Grixis Charm is not that popular in Commander. But we'll see how that stacks up to the new Maestros Charm here in a second. Because, really quick, I also do want to say that, okay, technically there are more charms. There are actually 5 more charms with Crosstast Charm, Ramos Charm, Rith's Charm, Travis Charm, and Dargaz's Charm. These charms go all the way back to reference the dragons from Invasion. Yes, those lovely 3-color dragons, which I remember very fondly from my childhood. Anyways, these charms I also placed in order of popularity, and Crosstast Charm, being, the Esper Charm out of these, is the most popular, whereas the other, Grixis Charm was not very popular. Regardless, we'll compare that one in a second, here in a bit as well. Because first, let's see how Maestros Charm stacks up to Grixis Charm. Maestros Charm, again, provides either card advantage or maybe, should I say, very good card selection, plus being able to fill your graveyard, an option to drain slightly, and also a way to ping down a creature or a planeswalker, being able to take out the vast majority of them. Whereas the original Grixis Charm was an instant for the exact same amount, obviously, and it says choose one, return target permanent to its owner's hand, or target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn, or creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. So the first of these options, being able to bounce a permanent back to its owner's hand, obviously can either be used in a protective way for your own things, or a way to, as some temporary removal, basically. The second part is removal, being able to give a creature -4/-4, and that last part is a pump effect for your team. Now that last part is the part that probably fits least into a lot of decks out there. There are only so many Esper decks out there that want to really go wide and pump their team. But yeah, the other two options being either removal or temporary removal are, not the worst. The main difference, obviously, that we can see between these two cards is that the Maestros Charm provides card advantage, or again, really good card selection. On top of that, it's also more effective removal, pinging down either a creature or a planeswalker that has a toughness of 5 versus just being able to take out a creature that has a toughness of 4. Now, obviously, that -4/-4 can be utilized in different ways. You can shrink a creature so that can be taken out in combat, and it can also, yes, take out indestructible creatures that have a toughness of 4 or less. That being said, I'll take that extra point of damage from Maestros Charm, as well as the option to ping down a planeswalker. So yeah, I'd say that Maestros Charm is definitely more effective when it comes to actually taking something out. So overall, I think Maestros Charm is just a much more solid charm, and yeah, I definitely think it's going to see a lot more play than Grixis. And then let's quickly compare this to Crosstast Charm, which says choose one, return target permanent to its owner's hand, destroy target non-black creature can't be regenerated, or destroy target artifact. So obviously Crosstast Charm is going all in on removal, and it can take out quite a few things. Being able to take out an artifact or being able to bounce something is definitely a nice one-up on Maestros Charm removal ability. But being able to ping something for 5, whether that's a creature or planeswalker, I would probably take versus being able to destroy a non-black creature and it can't be regenerated. Each are limited by only being able to take certain things out, but Maestros' Charm, I think, is going to help you out in a lot more scenarios when it comes to actually removing creatures. And of course, on top of that, Crosstast Charm doesn't allow you to have any kind of card advantage or card selection option, whereas Maestros Charm does, and it can also help you fill your graveyard too. Now, between these two, I'm actually really not sure which is going to be more popular. I mean, Crosstast Charm is really effective at removal. It goes all in on it, giving you a lot of options, whereas Maestros Charm is effective at removing either creatures or planeswalkers, but it does have more flexibility when it comes to actually giving you card advantage. Overall, I think the amount of play that they see might be pretty comparable, and Maestros Charm might just actually nudge out Crosstast Charm in the long run. Regardless, when it comes to commanders that might want to consider the new charm, the first one that came to my mind was most definitely Ramos Dragon Engine, who absolutely loves the 3-color charms. Ramos is a 4/4 flying dragon that says whenever you cast a spell, put a +1 counter on Ramos Dragon Engine for each of that spell's colors. And then by removing 5 counters from Ramos, you add white, white, blue, blue, black, black, red, red, green, green to your mana pool. Activate this ability only once each turn. So obviously, the more colors that a spell is, and the more efficient that spell is with those colors, again, being a 3-color spell for 3 mana, the better it's going to be with Ramos. The more spells you can cast, and the more counters you're going to be able to get on Ramos to utilize that fantastic ability. So yeah, Ramos decks already utilize a ton of the charms, and yeah, I can see Maestros Charm making the cut as well for a lot of decks out there. Next up, how about Maestros the Pretender, a 4/4 that says when it enters the battlefield, you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand or graveyard and put a cage counter on it. Maestros the Pretender has all activated abilities of all cards you own in exile with cage counters on them. You may activate each of those abilities only once each turn. So, getting things into your graveyard is the name of the game for Maestros, and yeah, again, that first choice of being able to get one card out of your top 5 and putting the other cards into your graveyard is going to work fantastically with this commander. You know, on top of also giving you the option to take out a creature or planeswalker if you need to, or I guess draining too. And speaking of a commander that likes to have creatures in the graveyard, let's talk about Cedris the Traitor King. Cedris is a 5/5 zombie warrior that says each creature card in your graveyard has unearth for 2 and a black. So by paying 2 and a black, you return the card to the battlefield, the creature gains haste, you exile at the beginning of the next end step, or if it would leave the battlefield, unearth only as a sorcery. Again, getting the right card in your hand of the top 5 is going to be very nice, and also it's going to be very nice to get a lot of things, especially creatures, into your graveyard so you can unearth them with this commander. And of course, the flexibility is a lovely thing. Finally, even a Grixis commander like Marchese the Black Rose might want to consider this new charm. She's a 3/3 human wizard that has Dethrone. Other creatures you control have Dethrone, and whenever a creature you control with a +1 counter on it dies, return the card to the battlefield under control at the beginning of the next end step. So Marchese decks typically like to either take advantage of their creatures, getting counters on them and dying, then coming back and maybe having an ETB or an LTB, or maybe stealing an opponent's creature and getting counters on it, and then having it die as well to get it back and steal it. So again, a flexible spell that provides fantastic card selection, or, you know, a way to potentially take out a creature when you need to, can be great for this commander. But yeah, overall, it's going to be really exciting to see brand new versions of these charms. Again, we've already seen kind of the brand new Grixis charm, but we're also going to be seeing, you know, the brand new Esper and the Naya, the Bant and the Jundin. And yes, I know the families from this set have names, but, you know, I'm just saying the color combinations, okay? But yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see what these brand new charms are going to be, what our options are, and yeah, how they stack up to these old charms and what kinds of decks are going to want them. So make sure you're staying tuned to this channel for more spoilers, which you never know, they might come even before actual spoiler season happens on April 7th, which is next week. Because yeah, I definitely did not expect to see a brand new charm being spoiled today. So stay tuned. And with that, the show is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts on this episode are, and as always, thanks again and have a good one.